Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another late night listing session. I'm going to wait for some people to pop in, and then we'll get started. And then we're just going to post a link in one of the groups. Got a sale as well for some Roald Dahl books. I'm going to post in the Money Mental group. A late night listing stream. Anyone fancies it? YouTube post. Okay. We've got a couple of people in. Hiya, Chris. Hiya, Becca. So yeah, I thought as I haven't listed anything all day, and I don't think I listed anything yesterday, I really need to get some stuff on. So I thought I'd go live and do some listing, try and force myself to get some stuff on. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to pop in. Hiya, Chris. Good to see you. I'll pop a link to the StreamYard in a minute. If anybody wants to pop on, that would be good. This is mainly going to be I'm hoping to get quite a lot listed, so it may be a bit sporadic as regards to chat. Let me Google. I've been using Google Photos to get the photos off my phone and onto the computer. It's working out quite well. Just means I don't have to keep on plugging in my phone, although it's probably needing to be plugged in. So I can plug it in, charge it up in here. I'll do that in a second. Okay, got some more people in now. Richard's in. Hi, Richard. South London resellers in. Good evening. Watching on the tube, going home from work. Or safe journey. Chop, busy, work, bang, bang is in. Hiya. Gimbal's in. Hiya, Gimbal. Chris Tyler's in. I'll come on another day. I'm be in bed soon. Yeah, it's quite late. Completely understandable. I thought I'd come on because I've got to get some stuff listed because I was at the auction last night, as some of you probably already know from Peter's stream. Congratulations to Peter, by the way, for doing his 200th live stream, I believe. But yeah, I really needed some stuff to get listed tonight. Hi, Ian. How's it going? No handcuffs. Yeah, my hands are not handcuffed. Peter's in. Talk of the devil. Hiya, Peter. That espresso's in. Oh yeah. Okay, so let me share my screen and I'll show you some of the things I'm going to be listing. It won't be all of these things because I'm not going to be able to manage to list them all. Let me just share that screen. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So these are a few things I picked up at the auctions last night, and also stuff that I picked up from the boot sale and stuff like that. So this is a bit of a spoiler to anybody who's going to watch my upcoming auction haul, which I hope to get out in a few days' time. I've been recording it today as I've been sorting through everything. So I've got this hostess trolley. I've got a vintage lamp. Got some pie dishes here. Got a very old valve radio. I've got a cable for the computer. Another nice little lamp here. Hoping to put this one on Etsy. I've got these Reader's Digest books that actually are worth quite a bit. I thought they'd be worthless. A few car manuals, some media there, some World War II gas masks, which are quite interesting. These are the videos for my live stream. I've got some more items here, some phones, some stationery, hi-fi. This is probably the stuff I'll be listing tonight, all this hi-fi. The vintage mirrors, I've already actually listed them. So that's the stuff. Let me put a link into the chat, see if anybody wants to pop on with me. You'll be most welcome. There you go. Let me go back and see if anybody else popped in. Reselling Polly's in. Hiya, Sam. Ali's in. Hiya. Gary's in. Jason. Hiya. Shazad. Welcome. I think that's it. I'm down at the bottom now. Right, so what I generally do is I will now copy all these photos that I took off my phone onto Google Drive, and I'll put them on my computer. So basically just got to highlight them. I've got a new background as well. We just copy these photos and I'll ask you to see what you think about it. I'm still in two minds about it, so let me just download these. Download. Okay. Had a couple of returns today on eBay as well, annoying returns. I've got one that's from Italy, who bought a brand new sealed Windows, I think it was Visual Studio disc, and it didn't come with any serial number. I did put that on the description. It was just the disc, but it was sealed in the packet, and I didn't know whether it needed one or not. So I put all this in the listing, and what do you think he opened the return for? No serial, and he actually said it was not authentic, which is really annoying. A 0 rated buyer. So I'm going to have to get that back, and I've no doubt he's opened it, so he's basically ruined it. So I think I'll be using my top rated seller thing. It's definitely not a fake, that's for sure. I know that for a fact. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm just copying all these photos across to the computer. Yeah, that's it. So download. Save. So, question. So you save your photos on Google Drive and do you save your videos there too? Yes, I do. This is something I've only just started doing because I bought a fancy new iPhone 12 and I had an iPhone 6 before that, and it copied stuff fine. I was able to plug it in and it appeared on my Windows PC as basically like a USB drive, and I just copied the stuff across, no problems. But since getting the iPhone 12, it keeps on coming up with random errors, copying the stuff across. I think it's something to do with the higher quality of the video and stuff. It's just the files are much bigger, and it just seems to have problems copying them across. So I just didn't know how to do it in an easy way. So I decided to install Google Photos, and that seems to be working quite well. It does convert them to a lower quality before it uploads them to Google Photos, if you want to do it for free. But the quality is still really high. It's certainly high enough for, you know, these sort of streams on YouTube and on eBay. I think if you were doing like a 4K video, then it would obviously lose the 4K quality. But yeah, for the quality of my video recording and my webcam and things like that, then it's not really going to affect it. So I'm quite happy using that at the moment, although it's going to be paid for in the middle of next year. I got a notification today just as I've started to use it, but I'll probably just pay for it, or I'll go on to something like, you know, there's loads of different apps. There's Dropbox and all this sort of stuff. I think Bill mentioned something as well on my other stream a few days ago. I still haven't looked at, but yeah, might have to look at something else later on, but it's certainly doing the trick for now. And of course, the video is always there as well. I don't get lost or deleted. So if I do ever get the same item again, I could always scroll through my photos and find it, and might avoid having to take a photo of it again. Although in reality, I'll probably never do that because it'll just be take too long to find it again in the massive eBay photos. Pete Harrison, hiyo. I can't return requests because I'm a business seller, and business sellers can't reject return requests. I can appeal it once I get it back, but most likely I'll have to give a refund. But I'll probably, you know, if I get it back and he's opened it, which is basically making it almost worthless. It was quite a lot of money, but it was only really worth a lot of money because it was sealed. If he's opened it and used it, and possibly used, there may be a serial number on it. I honestly don't know. That's why I put it in the description. I didn't know if it needed one, but there isn't one included. And if he has used it, then you know, he's going to get a 50% refund. It's as simple as that, because I'm not losing money on his stupidity. But yeah, I can't just reject the return request. It's really annoying. And because he's in Italy as well, I can't buy I can't buy any postage either. I've basically just got to say, give me a quote, and then I'll refund your postage when I get it back if what you say is correct, which I already know is incorrect. But it's just a case of following the rules and making sure you follow it to the letter, and then eBay eventually will probably back you. Peter always does 180p. I think I do. I guess I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. Certainly, I'm guessing I'd probably do on my new phone. Don't know what it was on the old phone. Just whatever the default is. Video image looking good, Derek. Yeah. Well, I think one of the reasons I went for the iPhone 12 is so because my old iPhone 6 was on its last legs and there was microphone issues and things like that. So part of getting the iPhone 12 was to improve the quality of the YouTube as well. This stream is just on my webcam, but the webcam's okay. I think it's not brilliant, but it does the job for this sort of thing. I think you don't want to see me in 4K or anything like that, I'm sure. How was the auction the other day? The auction yesterday went really well. Absolutely filled the car. Literally, it was piled up on the passenger seat next to me, and it was a case of holding it up as I went around the corner. Yeah, I couldn't really fit much more in there, but there was a lot of sort of rubbishy items this time, just to get a few decent things in the lot, which you'll see in the video. So I've got about 4 boxes that more or less are fit for the tip. But I do need to spend a little bit more time going through them, because there's always a few little gems in there and things that will go on Facebook for like £5 and stuff. It all adds up. PTU's Dropbox. Yeah, it's something I did look at. I'll review it at some point probably, but Google Photos does seem to work. I use all the Google things. I use Google Sheets and Google Documents and all of that as well. So it suits me doing Google. That's good, since like me, you're getting low on stock. Yeah, I've got no stock. I'm really desperate for the stock. Oh, hi, Nick. No. I completely forgot about it, to be honest with you. I've been, yesterday I was at the auction, as you know, and today I've been emptying my car of auction stuff and trying to get it all squirreled away into the various places I try and put stock in. So yeah, I will get to it. I'll try and have a go at it tomorrow. It's on my it's making its way gradually to my office. I've got a little bit of a production line going. It sort of starts off in the car, then it comes in and goes into a spare room on a shelf, and then it makes it into my hallway where I sort of work and put things as I'm working on them, and then it gets into my office and actually gets the photos taken, and then it goes into my storage. So it's on its way to me, but not quite yet. You said Google Drive and it opened it on my phone. Sorry about that. I was going to joke and say do something else there, but I thought actually it might actually do it, so I'm not going to say it. I use a Google Home. This is probably setting off again, actually. I use a Home that in the kitchen for a kitchen speaker, and I've got one in the living room, and I've got one on my hot tub. The hot tub one's really good because it means you can be in the hot tub and you can just tell it to change music. Before I was like leaning over and messing with my phone. Of course, that would end up in the water if you're not careful. Yes, it never ends. Although I haven't, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do the stream tonight, because I wanted to get a load listed. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I'll probably lose subscribers. I'm not going to say that either. Hi, tea cakes. Thanks for popping along. Right. Okay. So, extract files. Yeah, as I said before, it might be more of a quiet stream once I actually get listing. Because I do want to get at least 10 items listed. Okay. Put that over there. Right, so here's the, if anybody wants to pop on, there's a link. I was going to show you my background as well, wasn't I? The new background. Let me share my screen again. Okay. So I've got this big roll of vinyl, and I've basically rolled that out onto my photography area. So see, you can see here, I think what it also does is help light up the item. As you know, before with the white background, it was losing the quality of the item. It was picking up things on the background. So it just seemed to be working quite well. I just hope it doesn't. What I'm worried about is that it looks like I'm just taking photos with the item on my floor. That is my concern really with it. But I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you think. Oh, you've got a hot tub as well, Sam. Yeah, I love mine. I've only just, well, I say just, I set it up in the summer. Yeah, and I was in it all the time when I first put it up. Must admit now I'm not going in it as much, but it's good to go in. I want to get a TV set up so I can sit in the hot tub and watch a film or something, because my hot tub's basically next to my shed. So what I want to do is put a window in the shed and put a TV basically facing out of the window. That's my plan, and some speakers at the side. Hi, Adrian. Feel free to pop on. There's a link there if you fancy a bit of a chat whilst we list. Are you Richard? Night Slow Sim, welcome. Just put mine away for the winter as having new windows fitted. Yeah, a lot of people sort of put them away over the winter. Some people say that the winter's the best time to use it. So I only got mine in July. So, you know, I don't know what it's like really. I know I've had to up the temperature by a degree, because when you're in it, it loses the temperature quicker. But at the moment, I've just been a bit too busy to go in it, to be honest. Let me have a look. Yeah, hot tub and TV. Yeah, so I can sit there and watch YouTube on the TV in the hot tub. Anyone remember Ian Beale having a hot tub? No, I think I must have stopped watching EastEnders by that point. I stopped watching EastEnders, I think, when it was just before Dirty Den came back for the first time. You know, when he, after he got shot and went in the canal, he came back like 10 years later or whenever it was. I'd stopped watching it about a couple of months before that happened, and I never really watched it again since. Yeah, I put decking around the hot tub as well. Much better for when you're getting in and out. Yeah. Scottish winter is like a skating rink. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be like. Once it gets really sort of icy and stuff. It's got a good cover on it, really thick insulated cover. So I'm hoping that it's going to maintain its temperature pretty well. Yeah, no problem, Adrian. Another time, maybe. Maybe put it away because the windows are the ones that are in it now. Yeah. He sits in and looks at the stars. Yeah, I've got like a gazebo over the top of mine, so you can't really see right sort of up directly, which is a bit of a shame, but it's better than the rain. Oh, we have our first guest. I think Richard. Hi, Richard.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah. Okay.
You've been listening today at all?
Yes. About 8 or 9. Not been really busy, but I've been sort of cleaning stuff.
It's 8 or 9 more than I've done. I need to start getting some done. Too much hot tub talk at the moment. I'll just catch up with the end of the chat and then I'll start listing.
How many are listed so far?
None. This is the problem. I've been chatting too much. Hi, sorry, what was that?
I'll just say hello to everyone in the chat.
How do you guys work so late? I get to about 3 p.m. Well, I have been working. I mean, I've been working all day. I was up pretty early. I was up about 7:30, and then I started to empty my car because I was at the auction last night, and I've been sort of sorting out all the auction stuff. So I have been working, but I don't really feel like I've actually done any work because I haven't actually listed anything, and I've only sold a couple of things today as well. So I feel like I'm getting that nervousness where you think you've got to get some good stuff on there to get the sales, because I had a bit of a rubbish day yesterday as well. Right, I'm at the bottom of the chat, so yeah, I'm gonna get my first thing on. before I talk anymore. So what are you planning to list, Richard? Anything exciting?
Well, a Walkman.
A Walkman?
Yeah, that one. So it's only for spares or repair because it's not working.
Is that quite a good one?
Probably worth £10 delivered.
Oh, right.
One. It's just completely dead. It's not working.
Yeah.
But
Still good to
I've
get rid of it.
about 10 box ones.
You're still not listed then?
No. These ones.
Yeah, I think they were there I think there might have been CD ones maybe, but I saw that when I was at your house last. Yeah, them ones. Yeah.
I'll keep them for the challenge if we ever do one again.
Keeping all the good stock. Right, I'm gonna get a Barbie karaoke machine listed. I didn't notice. Did anybody mention my photography area? I can't remember. Can't see if anybody. Oh, there you go. Peter said that's what I've got, a wood style background. Yeah, and I know that Nick, he just lists on his table, doesn't he? You know, his desk. That's just like a brown table. And I know Lonnie, he takes photos, and that's just on his computer desk with like posters and stuff in the background as well. So I just don't know really. I really like the artificial grass, but I don't want to do that because everybody's copied George on that, so I don't really want to do that. Ideally, I would use a different style vinyl flooring. Maybe I buy a roll or something that isn't like this wood. And I don't like the fact. Let me share this thing again. I'll just share the screen. Yeah, so that's what I've got, and it's got a line down it, which is just the design of the vinyl. But it looks like I've sort of joined it. I don't know really. Before I had a perfectly white background, but it had started to get a little bit dirty, and it was showing up in the photos. And I think this will be more forgiving to any little marks and stuff on it.
I don't know if you can see the dirt on the background.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, let me find one of my photos. We find one of my photos that has the dirty background. I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so as you can see here, you can see little marks on the white background, and I think it just looks a little bit nicer on the wood background. Right. Okay, so I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this listed. Otherwise, I'm just not going to end up listing anything. I don't know where that's gone now. There's. Create listing.
It will at the auction tomorrow. Yes, please, sir.
Sorry, say that again?
You did well at the auction yesterday.
Yeah, I managed to get quite a lot of stuff. As I said before, I basically filled my car completely. And I've been recording a video of basically a haul video of what I got today as I've been sorting it out. So that should come out in the next couple of days when I get some time to edit it.
Yeah.
It looks like this Barbie machine, people have sold it for £20. So I think I'll go for £25. I always go for a little bit more because somebody's got one on there for £35. They've got something else with it. What have they got with it? Oh, they've got like a... No, it's just the power lead. Yeah, maybe I should put it on. They've got a Frozen CD. Yeah, I'll put it on for $24.99 plus postage. I think when you're looking at completed, it's always good to remember that you're a business seller as well and stuff like that. All adds value, doesn't it, to the what you can charge for stuff, and how you present it as well. I mean, this one for 20 quid that's sold is basically just sort of thrown on somebody's bed, and all the wires all tangled and stuff. So, a well
presented and all adds to the value.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is like you accept returns and all that sort of thing. But
yeah, plus I send out offers to watchers as well, so I cater in that in my initial price. That allow me to basically send an offer like a £5 discount, and I'll still get what it's actually, roughly what it's worth. I'm not really giving it away too cheap. I don't want to put it on for something like somebody else has sold it for in the past and then give a £5 off that. Because I'm happy to sit on it for a little while. Gary OP.
First listing done.
Sorry, what was that?
First listing done.
Done one already. I haven't even typed in my title yet. That's not going to happen. I think when I tested the speaker, it was more of a hello, hello. That was about it. Who said it was a good idea to build Lego? No one ever said it was a good idea to build Lego.
That's so much Lego that I need to.
Yeah, I've got massive. I really want to get it on there this Christmas because I wanted to list it last Christmas, so it's like going to be like a few years after by the time I actually do it otherwise, which is quite bad really. It's quite expensive Lego as well. I think they're worth like £100 each, these sets, so there's probably about £400 worth there, but I just can't be bothered to do it, so I really should do it. I might sort of like I did think about time-lapsing myself building it, or making a YouTube video of it, and that will encourage me to actually do it.
Do that.
Used to get a white sheet before and hated trying to get it with no creases. Yeah, that's why I went for the vinyl. Ian's got a question. Derek, to those of us who are computer challenged, how does Google Photos work? I use Google Drive, but it takes forever. Well, basically, I've only just started using it, but basically what happens is you download the app on the phone. You set it up to allow to access your photos, and then you take all your photos, open up the Google Drive app. uploads them automatically to the Google sort of servers, and you can set it to automatically delete the original one off your phone as well, which I've done. But I do that manually. Actually, I don't do it automatically. And then everything gets stored on the Google Drive. On the Google Photos. It's not Google Drive. It's different. Then you just go to type in Google Photos on your computer. You sign in, and then all your photos appear, and you basically highlight the ones you want, and you can save them to your computer, and then it's just in a directory. And that's basically what I do. And photos are really quick. It uploads them really quickly. Videos, it can take ages to upload them. I like my background because it's forgiving marks and scratches. Yeah, that's what I thought with the wood rather than perfectly white. I mean, the white one was brilliant when it was brand new, but about a year old, and I do all my cleaning stuff on that same table as well, which I'm going to try not to do now. I've got the new thing, but sometimes it's difficult if you're stuck with space. eBay wants you to use white background. Yeah, people say that it won't come up in searches and stuff, but I'm not convinced about that. I take photos of stuff in my hallway that is on laminate flooring and big items, and they still sell. And I know George has no problems using his background. People like Lonnie, he's got like a background. You've got posters in the back. So I think if you're selling brand new things and you're competing against lots of people, then it might cause issues then. But it does look like it's on the floor. Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? I don't know. I'm going to see how it goes. See if it affects anything.
What about getting a white piece of vinyl that you can wipe down?
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to buy that that photography background that you've got, just for the smaller items. And probably this Barbie machine probably would fit on there as well. But I don't know. I quite like the darker background. It'd be better if I could have like a solid darker color. Say if it was the wood, but it didn't have all the the plank effect on there. It just had a solid thing.
Yeah,
I would just. It's on a table, the same as Nick's, and I could just take the background off completely. But then you've got the back. I wanted like a smooth back to it all, which I get using the vinyl, and it's rolled up all the way up. If I can angle my camera, you'll be able to see it. I don't know. Yeah, there it is. You see. But yeah, I don't know. I'll give this a go, and maybe buy another background. But what I was saying is, when I was taking the photos, I noticed that it did take a better quality image of the item I'm actually, taking a photo of, rather than the white background. I think it got a bit glary and stuff. So I think it really makes the item stand out a bit more when it's on a darker background. Do I always put in 12 pictures? I try to, yeah, I usually do, but I take enough pictures and then I upload those. It is usually around the 12, but if it isn't, if I've got the 6 pictures, I will then just upload them again as like a second lot, just because I think eBay likes you to have all the photos used up. But if I've only got 10 or 7 or something like that, I don't worry about it too much. I do try to take a lot of photos. I usually run out of space, to be honest, and have to pick and choose what photo I use.
What would you list an old CRT TV for? 14 inch?
Is it a CRT?
Yeah, only an album.
I think I put mine on for like 50 quid, 49.99 plus postage.
There isn't any listed. Same model. Similar ones have been listed for about 40 to 50.
Yeah, I mean,
It's about 70.
Alba's it's like a cheapo brand, isn't it? So it's the same as like Dura brand and Matsui and all of that. They're all like cheapo brands.
Somebody got 50 plus a 10 of postage.
Yeah, I'll go for 50. I usually do like 49.99 plus. I think I do
similar.
I think I do 12.99 postage, but they get sent 8.99 via Parcel Force usually. Does it have a remote or anything?
No, it's no remote.
Yeah,
You've got the control on the front.
Yeah.
People are only going to use it for gaming and that anyways.
Yeah. What I do usually do is make sure I'd say what inputs it got. So if it's got the yellow and the red and white component sockets.
No, it's just skirt and
Just got lead. Right. Yeah, as long as you've got skirt, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
So you can buy a skirt converter, can't you, for the component ones. Right, I'm going to get off. I still haven't finished typing in this title. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to get this Barbie thing listed. It'll probably end up being the only thing I list. I'll do. Oh, wrong thing. If anybody wants to drop in for a chat, then there's the link in the chat there. So do you still not have you got the SKU where you can store where you put things, on your shelves and stuff? Do you still not do that, or do you?
I do that now.
You do it now?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to find things now. I've got
too much stuff.
There's too much now.
So do you take your photo? Do you do it like same as me, like take the photos and then put it away, or do you? What's your sort of process?
I have the stuff outside of me, and then actually behind, and then I pull something out the box, list it. I'll take the photos first, then put it around my computer somewhere, then list it, and then put it on the shelves.
Right.
I know you do it differently. You put your stuff on take the photos, then put it on the shelves.
Yeah, mine goes on the shelves, and then I've got a sheet of paper. That's a list about it. The only thing is that if I don't list it pretty quick, I end up with like loads of sheets of paper. You know, I've got to try and find where so I don't mark them off as I list them either. They're just sort of just on the sheet.
Yeah, I like to sort of be able to see the item. That's the reason
it works okay for me as long as I list them quite quickly. It's when you get into the fact where you've got like 5 video recorders and then 2 of them have got an issue that you've got to declare.
Yeah, you've got to remember which one.
You've got to remember which one was which. I do write it down on a bit of paper, but you know, it can get a bit confusing, you know, especially if you don't list it straight away and you list it like 3 or 4 days later and you took a load of other photos of other stuff in the meantime, then, you know, it can get a bit of a nightmare, but usually I'm okay with it. I'm getting quite tight for space again in my storage garage. There is one shelf that is pretty much wasted. It's got unlisted stock on it. So I think I'm going to clear that and get that listed or get rid of it, and then I'll get more space then.
Yeah. It's a lot better in there since you've got the lighting.
Oh, it's brilliant now. I've got the light, and even in the day, you know, I can see much better, because before I was going around with a torch at one point just trying to find stuff.
Lighting. Wire it in properly, or did you just have an extension lead in the?
It's an extension lead that goes out to the thing. I've just got them on a plug. I want to wire it in, so I've got a light switch at the door on it, you know, eventually. But at the moment, I've basically unplugged the plug, and that turns the light off. But there's always power going into the thing, so I've got like a dehumidifier in there and stuff like that. But the wire comes out of a window in the house, so that it goes. It's in the old bathroom, and that goes out that room and just across the ground and then into the garage. It works out quite well, and but yeah, I definitely want to sort of wire it all in a bit more neater at some point, especially if I end up with more dehumidifiers, because I want to get 2 or 3 in there, I think. You know, it's going to be quite a few plugs in there then.
They're worth getting. They definitely make a difference.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to pick one up from Facebook. I've arranged to pick it up on the way back from the car boot sale on Sunday, because it's over in Edinburgh. I was hoping that he still got it by that point. I didn't want to go over to Edinburgh to get it beforehand. Maybe I should have done. It's not really cheap. It's 50 quid, but it still seems to be the cheapest I can get one at the moment. I just hope it all works okay, because obviously it's quite a lot to spend. But it's quite a big one, I think. It's like a 10-litre one. There was actually one at the auctions last night. It was part of a big electrics lot. And I bidded really high on the basis that, you know, I wanted the dehumidifier, plus there was a load of stock there. But somebody just bidded too, you know, a little bit more higher, so I ended up being out, really. Right, I'm going to get this Barbie thing done. What I've also started to do with boom boxes is take photos of the battery compartment, because I wasn't bothering doing that before. And I think quite a few people like to use them with batteries, don't they? So
Do you ever sell that massive one, that great big boombox you had that you paid about 200 for?
Yeah, I sold that. I didn't get much. Well, I think I got about £400 for it, or £500, something like that. I didn't make as much as I thought, but I was pleased to sort of move it on, really. But it went to a collector because he sent me a photo of it in his collection. He had loads of other similar ones, so I'm quite pleased it's gone to somebody who like, enjoys it. But the auction house has like best sales or something like that on their website, and that boombox is in the photos in the gallery of all their best sales. It's like there's all these other things like £1,000 sofa or something like that, and this boombox is on there for whatever I paid. I can't remember how much it was. A couple of £100, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, so they're obviously proud of the sale. But it was a really, really good thing. I've actually got it's not as retro, I suppose. It's one of those ones where it plays the vinyl record on the other side, so it flips the disc, or flips the needle rather. I think George picked up something very, very similar the other week. He needed to replace the belt on or something, and mine needs a belt as well. But to do this one, it's really complicated. You've got to take the whole mechanism out, and then you've got to the tape. It's got a tape in there as well. That needs the belts doing as well. So to do it all is a nightmare. It's worth quite a lot of money done. I think it's about £500 when it's done. Cost me £100 to buy.
Yeah.
So I've basically put that off as well. I've had that for about a year. I will do it. I keep on saying when I got some time, but I just keep on buying more stuff. Really, I should stop sourcing, but I don't think that's a good idea either. Yeah.
Never gonna.
Especially if at the moment, I think it's good to get the stock when you can. All this stuff will get listed eventually. It's just the slow process of getting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if I list it in 5 years' time, it doesn't really matter, does it? I'm in it for the, it's my business going forward. So, but ideally, I obviously want to list it quicker than 5 years.
Still got a load of those Cambridge Z88.
Some left.
Still got 30 of them.
How long have you had them for? Like 20 years or something? 1,000 or something.
2003.
2003.
No, I bought them just after I moved into this house.
Yeah, but you weren't really. I know you were reselling, but it wasn't like it was like a hobby then, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You weren't really selling them all the time and stuff like that, I suppose. So
just an opportunity that came along.
Yeah, it's a shame you didn't buy the lot.
Yeah,
Would have been good.
I wouldn't have.
I think I've got this listed. What I've got to do is click submit, but decide on a price. Can't remember what I think I said 24 now. I'm just going to put it 29.99. It's Q4 after all. That's it listed. My first item.
The first one nearly to my fourth.
You're on your 4. Bloody hell. So, God, let me check the chat. Andrew's off. Good night. WWE Tag Team and Pain Brothers. Buy any more. I'm reading the chat backwards. I have to scroll back up a little bit. Oh, Andrew's done a guess the price.
He sold something.
He must have sold something, yeah. Oh, Ali got it right, which was £12. 12 pence, maybe that was Andrew's sale. You should sell things for a little bit more, not 12 pence. We've got a question here from DM. Where do you get your belts? Did you buy a job lot of mixed sizes? I got mine from a place in China, just an eBay seller that came in a little pack. They're ideal for Walkmans and small stereos, but things like the turntable belts and the bigger cassette belts, I think you got to really buy them. Well, I do anyway. I just buy them for that particular machine. So, for example, I've got I can show you it because I've got to fit it tomorrow to the machine. Yeah, this turntable belt. This comes in that little packet, but that was like $9.99. Probably do the same thing, I guess. Buy a load of different sizes of those. It's probably something for me to look at because I do pick up quite a few turntables now. But they're thicker belts than the ones that you get for the Walkmans and things. But yeah, I mean, I usually buy the items so cheap that if I have to buy a belt, there's still loads and loads of profit in it. So it doesn't worry me too much. But I only ever replace them if they need replacing. That's for sure. Because, it's like an extra tenner off your profit otherwise. Although you could say that fitting a new belt could, help it sell, I suppose. I see what that's like. I haven't been live for 59 minutes, have I? Oh, we have, yeah. Bloody hell. Right, okay. It took me an hour to list one item. It's the first time I've seen Richard in action. Right, I'm going to list. Actually, I haven't completely finished that because I've got to list it on Facebook as well. I was forgetting about that. Create new listing. So I know you don't do Facebook, Richard.
No.
But does anybody else cross-list their stuff? Anybody in the chat cross-list eBay stuff into Facebook? And what's the approach with doing that? Do you keep the price the same, or do you have a cheaper price if it's Facebook? I generally just put it on at the same price. And I do take a lower price if I haven't got to bother packaging it and obviously there's no fees, things like that. So I'm always happy to do a cheaper price, but not too cheap. It's still pretty much eBay prices. If they don't like it, then they can shop elsewhere. So it's my thing. Or was that for turntables? Or was that cassette belts?
I've got some belts. Fine, just like a little bag of them.
Yeah, but they cassette ones.
Yeah, the ones I've got are just for like Walkmans and.
Yeah, I think that's the same as what I've. Comes with, there's like 100 in there or something.
Yeah. I've actually got 2 bags. I lost one bag and I just ordered another bag.
I think they're really cheap. It's like £3 delivered or something. But
I don't think it's even that much. I think it was £1, £1.99.
Yeah. I was going to start cross-listing, but was worried about ending items on eBay. Yeah, you basically, if something, well, thing is, if it sells on Facebook, you've just got to end it before they come and pick it up. So if you agree for them, what I do, I end mine as soon as I tell them my address, and I'm confident they're going to come for it. I would end it, and on eBay, and then it's obviously off eBay at that point. But if I didn't, if I said yes and they were going to come for it on Facebook, and then somebody bought it on eBay before I had a chance, I would just message the Facebook person and say, sorry, it's gone, you can't come for it anymore. Because obviously you don't really get any problems with Facebook as far as dings and stuff. So I'd always go for the eBay sale on that respect. But I have more of a concern with Etsy and eBay because obviously they're sort of more similar. So if something sells on Etsy, I've got to quickly end it on eBay and vice versa. Sometimes I don't do it as quickly as I would like. That's just carelessness really. But I've never been really caught out. I was caught out with Facebook once because I sold something on Facebook and I forgot to end it on eBay. And then it sold and I couldn't find it. But that's the only other time it's happened. And I'm sure something happened with that. I think what happened, they said they were going to come and I ended it and then they didn't. So I basically relisted it or put it back up to the quantity again. And then they just not, a couple of hours later, they appeared at the doorstep. So I gave it to them and then I completely forgot to take off eBay again. So it was because they were late, it sort of ruined my system for it. It's cassettes and boom boxes. Yeah, it sounds like the same sort of ones I've got. Right. It's annoying that Etsy and eBay and Facebook they all have different quantities of photos that they allow. So you can't just use the same. You can use the same photos, but you don't get as many on Facebook, and even less on Etsy.
How many you get on Etsy?
Etsy, I think you get 8. I think it's 8 on Etsy, 10 on Facebook, and 12 on eBay. So eBay, you get the most. Okay, so that's on now on Facebook as well. So yeah, once I've listed it, I then copy the photos into a listed directory, so I don't get confused. I know it's sort of gone. Right, I've got a Philips stereo I can do next, and I've actually got one already on there. I think the other ones might be spares or repairs, but I can basically do a cell similar. Oh no, it all works. It's just got some yellowing to it. All right, that'll be a quick list then. Actually, I wonder whether I should. Yeah, I've got one with quite bad yellowing to the plastic, and I've got this other one that hasn't got yellowing, but the aerial's snapped. In an ideal world, I would swap the aerials, but then I would have to take photos of it all again. I'll probably just leave it. Yeah, it's actually completely identical in every way. That's good.
It's a typewriter.
Listing a typewriter.
Yeah.
Which typewriter is that?
Silver reed.
Right.
I don't think it's a particularly great one.
How much are you going to list that one for?
About 25.
It's cheap, is it not? Is it electric or manual?
No, it's the manual.
Isn't that a bit too cheap? I think I usually sell manual typewriters for like 60 quid odd minimum.
Yeah, it's got a few issues. It's got a few sticky keys and
yeah, if it's got a few issues, then yeah, it's fair enough. I picked up a typewriter at the auctions last night, and it cost £5, which is quite good. I was quite pleased with that. It's supposed to be 2 typewriters. The auction catalogue said 2 typewriters, but there was only one there, and there was a box of books. And I think the person who made the catalogue thought it was 2 typewriters. Anyway, these books, I thought they were rubbish. I almost left them there, but they turned out to be worth about 30 quid, 25, 30 quid. They're Reader's Digest encyclopedias, I think. But they're basically brand new. I thought they'd be worthless.
Always take.
Sorry, say that again?
I wouldn't leave anything there. I'd always take it and do more research at home.
Yeah, well, I always try. It was mainly because I was so pushed for space. But yeah, I managed to squeeze them in. Yeah, I never leave stuff if I can sort of help it, because I always find like something in the boxes and stuff, you know, when I'm sorting through it. Yeah, I really don't like leaving stuff, and they don't like at the auction either. You know, they get a bit annoyed if you leave stuff. I'm being told to make sure I don't leave anything good at the auction. I won an auction for Wade Special Edition Gold Biddy Bank for £30. Yeah, it's annoying when that's happened a couple of times in the past where I bought something and it's been so cheap and then they say they can't find it or they've broken it or something like that. There's not a lot you can do really. It's just annoying, isn't it? But yeah, they probably wanted more for it than. The problem is with if they're like private sellers and they only sell stuff occasionally, they don't care if they get a defect, do they? Or they don't care about their feedback. It's like. Yeah, the link's in there if anybody wants to pop on. As I say, it's mainly going to be a stream just listing, chatting when we can, and doing a bit of listing.
I'm trying to get some bulky stuff listed, get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I always put that off.
Yeah, I've tried not to do it because I used to do that, and I used to find myself sort of stepping over it all the time. It was always in the way, and I'm climbing over it every time I wanted to go out to my storage. I had to sort of, pull myself over it and stuff, and eventually I get around to listing it, and it sells like within the day or the next day. And I thought that's been there for like 3 months, and I've been climbing over it all this time. So I always try to get rid of that stuff pretty quick now. What bulky stuff are you listed then?
I've listed 2 CRT TVs and a typewriter so far.
Right. That's quite good. You can just sell similar and just change it slightly. I thought you didn't do TVs. I thought you didn't like all this bulky stuff.
When they're £2, I can't turn them down.
I suppose. You got boxes ready to send them?
I've got a few boxes. Ones that I've got down my storage.
Yeah.
It's good when they used to send the eBay boxes in a box. That used to be a big double-walled box. But now they send in a polymailer.
Mine come in boxes, but it's quite a flimsy box. But
They might always come in just in a polymailer these days.
Yeah, well, the last lot definitely. Even the double mailers, they come in a box as well.
Yeah, that's how they came in for that great big polymailer. And 100 of those pink boxes.
Yeah, mine come in a box, but the box is quite sort of flimsy. It wouldn't be up to sending like a TV or anything. It's a big box, but it's only like a single walled one. I usually do boxes that are sort of like that, and they're all sort of, they've got no strength left in them. I use them for like void fill. I just sort of fold them up, cut the cardboard, fold them up, and stuff them down the sides and stuff, and that gets rid of them then. So I'll get loads of like really good boxes here. So
yeah, big boxes for me are a bit of an issue.
Yeah, it's a shame you can't get them similar to me. So similar. I gave somebody my PayPal address to pay for something on Facebook, but they haven't paid yet. I hate that. When they say they're going to pay via bank transfer or PayPal, you give them the details. It especially annoys me with the bank details. So I find that's a bit of a sort of private thing. I don't like to give out bank details too often. I know they can't really do much with it, but then they just don't pay. It's like people who ask for your address. They ask if it's available, and then they ask for your address. I never tell them. I just tell them roughly where I am. I only ever tell them my address once I've got a time out of them. If they can't dedicate, themselves to a time for pickup, then I don't give out the details. Two seconds, I'm just going to go and boil the kettle for coffee. Well, thank you, Tommy.
Super chat.
Yeah, that's actually my first ever super chat. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. That's brilliant. I was catching up on your live, Tommy, with Tracy the other day. I think it was the must have been the day after my last live, and I heard you talking about the CDs, the cleaning of the CDs. Yeah. So thank you again. Cheers. That's my first ever super chat. So I was monetized on the channel probably about a month ago. So everybody's seen all the adverts pop up and stuff before the videos now. I think each video gets like 50p or something. But did you list that CRT TV with 85 quid? Oh, the Sony. Must be a Sony Trinitron, is it?
No, I haven't listed a Sony.
Is that still on the death pile?
No, I don't think I've got any currently. I've got a Hitachi to list as well, which I haven't took the photos for yet.
Right. Unless he's thinking of me, because I had a Sony Trinitron. CRT. I got it off Facebook.
I listed one ages ago.
Right.
So I got, it was 149 for that. It was
Yeah.
a really good one.
Yeah, I listed one about 6 months ago. And yeah, I got roughly that as well. It cost me £40 off Facebook.
Pretty sure it was like a flat screen one, like a CRT but had a flat screen.
Flat screen.
I got a premium.
Yeah, because I think they're good for, really good for gamers, aren't they?
I had to buy a remote for it, which cost me £10 or something.
There was an Atari ST with a monitor and a floppy drive on Facebook Marketplace in Edinburgh. I almost went to get it because it was only 70 quid. Probably should have done, really.
I think Dave's been looking in on eBay. I think he's found unlisted. No, that
What?
one's.
Oh, the CRT TV. Does that mean you can be rich and famous? Yeah. Yeah, this is it. This is the start of the Tap Peddler empire. I'll be getting myself an HQ soon and a tap tainer. I think it's Richard. The cat ended in Richard, but only 35 feedbacks. Yeah, it's not Richard then. Picked up a 28-inch Sony. It's got a problem, but I'll sort it. Yeah, I briefly caught your live earlier. We were doing some soldering, I think, but it all went over my head. And then I had to go to the parcel shop. So, but yeah, it was good to see you live. I hadn't seen you live before. 20-inch TV though, I wouldn't like to try and post that. I've actually got I think it might. I don't know if it's a 28-inch. It doesn't sound that big, but it was advertised as a 14-inch CRT TV. I went to pick it up. This was free on Facebook. Got there and it was I think it's a 19-inch or something. But obviously, if it was free, I didn't really want to say no because I'd agreed to go and get it. So I've got that, but I haven't listed it yet. I only come to the UK for media advice. Yeah, get all that. Get all those CDs listed quick. Like, I really enjoyed your auction video. Fascinating stuff. If you go through all the dross, you can find a gem. Maybe realise I've got to leave instructions for my demise. Yeah, there's loads of stuff in those boxes, especially if you sell on Etsy and things like that. You can get like little trinkets and little unique things. I'm just going to go and get my coffee because that's boiling. I've been using some frozen milk because I was at the Hermes shop, the Hermes drop-off, and he had a load of milk, and he basically told me I could have it all. I have a couple of them, so I ended up taking a couple of bottles of milk back with me, but they all went off on that date, so I froze them, and I've now defrosted them, or defrosted one of them. Never done that before, but it seems to be fine. Smells fine.
I've frozen milk before.
Yeah, well, I defrosted it I took it out in the morning, and by the afternoon I could start pouring a little bit out. But it's still got a little bit of ice in it now, even though it's been in the fridge.
Massive block, isn't it? So
yeah, it was basically a big. It got like bottle had all sort of almost expanded. Thought it might explode or something. Would you do milk via Hermes? Yeah, my local. I know my local Hermes shop quite well now. I've done a few little jobs for him here and there as well. I put up his signs on his shop, things like that. So I know him fairly well. Fixing Atari Legends arcade machine, 3DFX graphics card at the end of it. I remember when the 3DFX had just come out, and I ended up with a Power VR one, and it was, it was one of those things where I think my mate had bought a 3DFX, and I had bought the Power VR, and I was always saying the Power VR was better or just as good, but in reality it probably wasn't. I think that was back in the day when like Quake had first come out, or Half-Life 2, I think, or something like that. Or Half-Life 1, sorry, not Half-Life 2. I've been listening to CDs wrong all this time. I don't think Bill's going to live this down, is he? How much time does it take you to clean and test all those cassette players and portable CD players? I love all that tech stuff. Is it hard work? It really depends on the, on what it's like. I mean, sometimes like the Barbie thing I just showed, that was basically perfect. All I need to do is just test it, put a CD in. I played a CD for like 30 seconds maybe, just to make sure it doesn't skip. Check the radio, put a cassette in, check that it plays at the correct speed, and then it's just a case of taking the photos. If it needs cleaning, that adds another 3 or 4 minutes on it, I guess. But yeah, it's not too bad, and I suppose you just get used to it. I generally only give things a real quick wipe. I don't spend too long on things unless it's really high value. Like we were discussing earlier about that boombox, the vintage 70s boombox I had. I actually took that to bits and put the plastic casing in the bath and cleaned it really, really well. But for the £30 boombox type cassette player type thing, it's literally just a quick wipe over. I use glass cleaner as well to give it like a sheen. It comes up quite well. Put milk into ice cube tubs. Oh, let's say you don't have to defrost it all at once. See, that's the mistake I made. I probably should have put them in little bottles or something, because now I've got the whole 2-litre bottle that's going to go out. Well, it was on its last day of date, so it would start to go bad after a couple of days, wouldn't it? So, yeah, I probably should have done that. Although I'd never done it before. Probably never get it again. It's just like like a one-off thing. I think it goes a bit kind of watery. Yeah, I'm just using it for coffees anyway. As you may know, I drink like 40 cups of coffee a day or something, so I get through coffee pretty quick. Although I did have cereal with it this morning, and that was okay. I
think it does go a bit watery. It sort of, I don't know if it's the cream separates or.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think if I did it again, I'd probably put it in smaller bottles so I I don't actually have to defrost a lot in one go. Yeah, that's what I quite like doing this sort of job, because you see the amount of stuff that people throw away. I hate going to the tip because they've got like a skip that is just for small electricals, and it's like basically a skip full of stuff that I would sell, and you could probably bet that at least half of it's working. There's nothing actually wrong with it. I've actually pulled out a few little smaller things, but they don't like you taking things out of there, so you can't really retrieve much. But yeah, you see some like vintage Sony speakers and stuff just on the top of this skip. You know that they'll sell for like 80 quid, and plus somebody will really want them. These people probably chucked away those vintage Sony speakers and bought some cheap plastic, rubbish ones to replace it. You know what I mean? I just don't get it, really. What's your test CDs? My CDs always vary because I'm always losing them. So I end up with a variety of ones. I've got a Now tape that I use at the moment to tape. I think it's like Now 30 or something. It's some sort of 90s music that I use to test things. But the CDs, I did used to have, I think it was like musicals, like Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals or something that I did originally have to test tapes, but now it's whatever is to hand. I've got Christmas music at the moment, actually, because there was a Christmas CD inside. I think it was inside that Barbie machine. So that's just naturally been the one I used for the boomboxes I tested the other day.
I just tend to grab something off my stock, whatever's to hand. I haven't really got.
Right. Yeah, I've done that a few times, although I don't really have much CDs that I sell. Well, I have now because I picked up loads last night at the auction, but usually I don't have CDs. Make a rice pudding with the milk. That's not a bad idea, actually. You'll find out that people who work there will have them for themselves to sell on. Yeah, not at mine, because they crush them. They put, it's just like a normal skip, and then they put like a big roller with massive metal spikes, and they basically just run it over the skip. And they do it with like, the wood recycling, the metal, and all the small electricals. Such a shame.
The electricals at mine, they take them they dismantle them and reuse bits out of them, I think, sell them to companies, I assume.
Well, I know that they do have a dedicated bit for TVs, that you can put TVs in a separate place. So I assume they might do it with them. And you can recycle bikes separately. But anything else, say if you've got like a hi-fi or you've got a lawnmower, they would just all go in this skip, and they basically just run this thing over and crush everything. It's actually the Freeview box I use myself. That's obviously been crushed slightly because the case is cracked, but it's quite a good one, and I got that from the skip. But it works fine. It's just got I actually got it to sell, but I can't really sell it because the case is broken. But I do use it myself. But yeah, so they run this thing over and just destroy everything. Yeah, that's the thing. I think if they'd probably ban me if they saw. I'm always quite discreet. If I did take something out, I would take something to it, and then sort of walk back with the other thing, hoping they don't notice. I hardly ever do it. It makes me sound like I'm always doing it, but I hardly ever do it. I always forget to take it out and then send it out with the player. Or the CD, I've done that a few times, and somebody was wanting to send it me back. And I said, "Oh, no, it doesn't matter." And he says, "No, send me a label and I'll send it back to you." And I said, I don't want it back. I don't want it. I'm not going to spend like whatever it would be for a large letter, or to send a CD back. It was probably a rubbish CD as well. I think that might be where that musical CD actually ended up. Actually thinking about it, that might have been that one. I've done that a couple of times. He does it as a sideline. Yeah. If I worked at the tip, I'd be doing the same. I don't think I could work at the tip. I think if I worked at the tip, I'd just be a complete hoarder. I'd be bringing stuff home left, right, and centre all the time. I'd be in tears watching that. Yeah. Right, I'm going to get another thing listed.
I think I might make a move now. And
Yeah, do off.
tired.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I've listed
How many did you get listed in the end?
7.
7. That's not too bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to try and get 10 listed because I've been trying to keep to 10. It's this last couple of weeks I've started to get a bit too sort of lax. That's why I really wanted to try and make an effort to get some stuff listed. Yeah, if you want to head off, then
I've done 14 today. So
that's pretty good going. I think I'm going to try and do the 10 tonight, and then I'm going to try and force myself to do 10 going forward each day again. What I need is George to do his morning readies, because that really got me going in the morning. I got up to watch morning readies, and then I started work. So yeah, I might message him later and tell him to bring back morning readies. What we need is a hashtag. Which I'll type it. Hang on. Andrew does this, doesn't he? Doesn't he add something to the StreamYard? Banners. Here you go.
Banners.
Let me have a look. Never done this before. So create a banner. Here we go. Right. Bring back morning readies. George Ross. There we go. There we go. Bring back George. I'm gonna bring back morning readies.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, how do I get my chat back? I've just got this banner. I've lost. Oh, there it is. Comments. Yeah, I used to really enjoy that.
I'm going to head off then now.
Right. Okay. Thanks for popping on.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me on. I'll be watching anyway.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm going to stay around for another. Well, I'll list the 10 and then head off myself. But yeah, thanks for popping on. I'll catch you later.
Okay. See you later. Bye, everyone.
Okay, so that's a link if anybody wants to come in. I'm going to try and get these 10 items listed. I've only listed that Barbie thing so far. So I might go a bit quiet as I'm listing. Okay, so I got my second one listed on a roll now. Actually, it's my third. I'm forgetting. I sold Simon on another one, so did actually get 3 listed. There we go. Ali's on the case now. Bring back morning redders. It's now a thing. We need to force a comeback, especially now lockdown's on. George tries to mispronounce brands. Is it feeler or filler? I would say filler. And he says feeler. I'm not even sure what I'd say. Probably filler. New and Lynn go. Yeah, so I hope people don't mind me just sitting here listening. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat, but I do need to get these things listed. You know, it's like when you haven't listed and sales have dropped a little bit, you feel that you've got to get some stuff on there, got to get some good stuff on there to bring in the dough. Right. It's your antidote. Bill's not as slow as you. I'm usually quite quick. It's the chatting that's throwing me off. Boombox, accept radio. This is a faulty boombox. Read. CD. Radio. Bass reflex. Parts are not working. Okay, so Never heard of faulty brand. It's a Philips boombox. It's a shame because it's actually quite a nice looking one. But tapes play a bit sort of wobbly, and the CDs don't read at all. So yes, it's and the aerial's snapped, so it's not got a lot going for it really. But it came from the auction, and it was cheap. Just the radio works okay. Aerial has it's in. That's across the best. It does not read any CDs. And the tape player plays tapes at incorrect speed. Selling for spares, repair only. See photos. Okay. Yeah, I used to say Nike, but I do now say Nike. When I was growing up, everybody seemed to call it Nike. But I do tend to call it Nike now. Same with Adidas. I've always said Adidas, but some people say Adidas. I still say Adidas. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't seem to spin up the disc. Sometimes they don't seem to have belts in the CDs, so I'm assuming it's running direct from the motor, and the motor must be gone. Is that right? Because that's something I've never really known. But I have noticed that sometimes when I clean the lens, sometimes it does spin up. It's almost like it's got to detect something before it tries to spin it up. Do you know anything about that, Dave? Because that'd be quite interesting to know. Sometimes just rubbing alcohol on the belt will make it grab if it's slipping. Right, that's not a bad idea, because sometimes it's quite difficult to get the belt's replaced, or it's not worth the expense to do it. So that might be something I might try in the future. Thanks for that. Greasing the rail with moly coaters is important. I have no idea what moly coat is. Greasing the rail, is that thing that, like the cog thing that looks like it's got some sort of jelly on it? Is that what you're talking about? Old belts get oily for some reason. The alcohol dries it up. Doesn't always work, but quick check. Yeah, I hate it when they go all gooey because they get stuck on your fingers and you can't get it off. It's horrible, that stuff is. Lithium grease. I think I've got some of that. I think that's the same grease I put on my hinges on my cars. It's the white grease, is it? I think. Yeah, he stuck across the first Lego set finish. It only took 3 hours. I was born for this. See, I've got that Lego, and I really used to enjoy Lego when I was a kid. And I used to build Lego with my son as well. But yeah, I just can't bring myself to do it. Probably, I'm going to have to do it at some point. Oh, I've had a counter offer. £16.50. I'm having that all day long. This is a Paul Costello pure linen skirt, size 12. Got it on there for £19.92. They've offered £16.50, which is fine with me. Should get a ka-ching. There we go. Ka-ching. Belt's made of oil. Comes out of it, yeah, of course, but it still is. Okay, shape, that's good. It goes up and down on a rail that dries to kind of see doing stuff. Changing track. Yeah. I'll have to have a look. Next time I've got one that isn't reading discs. I probably won't bother messing about with the ones I've already tested. That's it. Once you've actually done it, you think, why did you put it off for so long? I often do that. Oh, good night, Ali. Thanks for popping by. Right, I'll take a look. Cheers for that. Right. How many have I got listed? I think it's like 5, is it? I'm halfway there. It's only took me 2 hours. Good. No, I've only listed 4 things. That's not good. Just going to send out some offers as well. Had a bit of a rubbish day on eBay today. So I'm quite keen to get some sales. How was everybody else's eBay been doing? think that's them just paid for the linen skirt. Oh no, it's another offer. This might be good actually. £115 offer. Excelente. I'm accepting. Actually, this is a GSP order. I always try to do is look at their feedback left for others. This one looks good, so I'm accepting that. There we go. Yeah, so this is a vintage Nova Fon massager, sold for £115 to Germany. So yeah, that's 3 minutes to midnight, so it saved the day. Although thinking about it logically, what I should have done is waited the 3 minutes and I would have got an extra day of postage, because now I run a 2-day postage, so now I'm basically having to post it next day. But it doesn't matter, it's a small item. I'm going to the parcel shop tomorrow anyway, so I'll just get it sent then, assuming they pay. They haven't paid yet, so. Right, so next item. Yeah, I'll list that huddle. I've got a Tesco huddle, which I picked up at the car boot sale. That all seems to be working. The massager. Yeah. I'm sure you could buy a much better massager than this one. This one's like from the 80s or something. I'm assuming they don't actually want to use it and it's more of a collector's piece. But who knows? I've sold one before and I got the same sort of price for it. See if A4, why is that not? Huddle 2. Huddle 2 tablet. $39.99. Sounds good to me. How does it? How do you know how much memory it's got? Have they all got 16? Yeah, they've all got 16 gigabyte. Oh, there's one here with 8 gigabyte. Oh, that's no good. Right, so I've got to install. I've got to set it up again then, haven't I? Because I don't know whether my one's 8 gigabyte or 16 gigabyte. So that's a pain, isn't it? But it looks like they go for about £50. I'll list that one tomorrow. I'll have to reinstall. So factory reset it. Steady day today, but getting ready for a crazy time. Yeah, I'm just hoping this crazy time actually comes sold 6 jigsaw puzzles in the last 2 days. Were they used or new? So I picked up some jigsaw puzzles at the auctions last night. So that'll be interesting to find out. I think mine are used. I did sell out of jigsaws last lockdown. I need to list some Nintendo Wii's as well, because I've got some. Right, get this listed. French tutor. All used ones. Oh, that's great if you. So you got them for free as well. Brilliant. Yeah, I need to get mine on. Okay, I'll put that French tutor on Facebook as well. I don't know if I'm going to manage to stay awake to do these 10 listings. Really should though. Okay. I have an iPad mini, first gen listed at the moment, 250 new and still in wrapping. Just sold one for 180 unused, but it had plastic removed from the screen. They were both 16 gig. Yeah, mine's a Tesco Huddle. I think it was £7 at the boot sale. from my contact, and I didn't think it worked to begin with, but it turned out to be the USB cable I was using. So that was a lesson learned, that not all USB cables are the same, because USB cable I used charges my GoPro, little GoPro or fake GoPro camera up fine, no problems, but it didn't charge the huddle. So yeah, it's something to remember, not to, because I almost thought it was broken. Had an offer of £180 but declined. Retrotech unused. Yeah, it's probably worth holding out for a higher offer, maybe. No, it wasn't USB-C. It was the same, exactly the same USB cable, but it's you know, the same connection and stuff. But yeah, didn't seems to be different in some way. Yeah, maybe the cable. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's certain wires do certain things, and my cable's broken, but it manages to power the camera okay. But maybe because the tablet uses more power, maybe it relies on the other wires. Who knows? Certainly, the cable will be a cheapo cable. It won't, it won't be an expensive cable, I wouldn't have thought. But yeah, something to bear in mind. Yeah, it's not an Apple. It's what do you call it? It's a non-Apple device, and it was the same plug I used, the same actual wall USB thing. I'm going to get my Hostess trolley listed that I got from the auctions. Yeah, I recorded the video for my auctions earlier today. So keep an eye out, everybody, for that, because that will be hitting your screen shortly. Okay, so let's get this trolley listed. See, anything vintage goes on Facebook, Etsy, and eBay. So it's almost like listing three things. So when these things take me a while, it isn't just I'm not just listing it on eBay. I'm also listing it on the other platforms. Vintage, retro, hostess, holding gold, wood effect, gold and wood effect, hostess, drinks, tail, trolley. Hi, Ricky. Thanks for popping by. All right, I don't think I've ever seen that. The only thing I think of when I see hostess thing is hostess with the mostess. That's all I could. Every time I sort of talk about the hostess trolley, it'll be the hostess with the mostess. Only eBay here. Yeah, I don't know. Facebook is a hassle, but like today, I'll tell you a little bit of a story. I bought some vintage clocks at the auction last night, box of them. They're all broken clocks. So you had wooden cased ones with no face in. You had pieces of glass, completely wrecked, right? For spares, repairs, there was like mechanisms in there, all rusty, that sort of thing. Also in the box was 2 World War II gas masks. So that is what I was looking at. And they sell for about £30 each. So I won the auction for £6. And today I listed the or most of the clocks, all the clock stuff. It's just a bundle on Facebook for £20. And somebody picked them up, and I also managed to sell another one which I was keeping back for eBay for another £5, and also another one. I forgot about it, another one for another £5. So like £30 for all the stuff I didn't want anyway. And I've still got a solid marble clock casing that I'll probably be sticking on eBay. It's heavy as anything, and I think that's worth a little bit more. So I kept that for eBay, and I've still obviously got the 2 World War II gas masks as well. So putting stuff on Facebook is well worth it. I sell stuff pretty much every day on Facebook now, even at eBay prices sometimes. And also Etsy, I get a sale maybe every other day. I get a sale on Etsy. Sometimes it can go like a week with no sales, and then a couple come in. So I would say every other day, every 3 days, I get at least a sale on average. Whether they would have sold on eBay, if they weren't on Etsy, I don't know. You'll never know that, so it's worth doing for the amount of time it takes. It's just a cut and paste job usually. There's a few things you got to do, like add different specific terms in and stuff like that, and tags, things like that can take time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Play your cards right. I don't know. I don't know what that refers to. Hostess trolley, vintage retro colour gold, folding, drinks trolley, vintage retro, item height, 61 centimeters. Length 62 centimeters. Item width 36 centimeters. Weight, who knows? Folding. Yep, that'll do. Right. Number of shelves 2. Shape rectangle. Late 20th century. I'm going to say it was made in England. United Kingdom. Required tools, no tools required. Vintage retro folding wood effect hostess drinks trolley. I've spelled trolley wrong. Excellent. Edition. Casters. Gold metal rim with wood effect shelves. Folds down for storage. See photos for further details. Measures approx 62 centimeters long, 36 wide, 61 to top shelf. How much do I list it for? That's the big question. £59, £59.95. Best offer. And yes, that will do. List. Right, create listing. Oh, see you later, Dave. Hostess with the mostest. Was that play? I can imagine Brucey saying that. I've seen mixed clock parts go through the roof at auction. Know nothing about them. Yeah, I did think about putting them on eBay, but it's one of those things. They're all dirty. Some of them are rusty. The wood was all sort of manky. So I just thought I'll get rid of them. He was going to upcycle them and do various things with them, and there was a bit of a contact. So I said I'd keep his details and message him if I've got similar stuff here. So there might be a little bit of an outlet for me to shift similar things. So I see that sort of stuff quite a lot. But I don't usually buy it. I'd only buy it if I was buying something else. But this marble one, I think I'm going to, research that a bit more, because I think that's probably worth maybe around the £50 mark. So, yeah. And of course, as I said, I've got those gas masks. Yes, Nick, I'm still live. If you fancy popping on, there's the link. I'm going to be live for a little while yet, because I've only managed 5 listings. It's a bit disgraceful, really. Aha. Hiya, Nick.
Oh, that is working. Hello.
How's it going? Hiya, Nick.
I think I've got you open on another window. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, not bad. Bit of a lethal combination. I've got this been on the cider and doing drafts is not clever, really, but
Yeah, I thought about having a few drinks as I was doing this tonight, but I kept the coffee.
Probably wise. I was playing my regular weekly poker league, so I like to have a drink while I'm playing cards.
Yeah. That all online now, I guess.
Yeah, it's been online since, feels like forever, since whenever lockdown started.
Yeah.
I haven't seen regular group of friends I spend every Thursday with for like whatever it is, 8 months or something.
Yeah, this year's just been a weird year all round, isn't it? Because obviously you've got the stuff that's going around in the country, but you've also got your localized things where you don't see people, and then like almost like a year later. It's only a few more months, and then we're getting back. It's coming up to a year of knowing about the virus and stuff. So I think I first heard of it in January, I think. And
when it was this far away thing that I wasn't really concerned with. In China, they'll deal with it. Yeah. It feels like so long ago when we were just like, don't have to worry about that. It'll be fine.
I really thought it would just be something that You know, it was a bit like the was it bird flu a few years ago, about 10 years ago or something. There was like scares about that, and it never really affected things that bad, did it? Obviously, there was a few cases, but you know, I thought it would be basically similar to that, but obviously not. But yeah, we went up to tier 3 in Dunfermline now. So because I was at tier 2, so it's now gone to tier 3. But they confirmed at the auction last night that they don't get affected until it's tier 4, and tier 4 is basically lockdown. So
Okay.
fingers crossed they stay open. And the car boot sales is still on as well. So are you listing as well tonight?
I've been drafting some bits and bobs. I've got a few bits listed. I listed the rest of the Guitar Hero, and I've just been drafting Lego. I'm just printing off some FBA order, not FBA, sorry, merchant fulfilled orders, because I forget because I'm so busy with eBay, and then merchant fulfilled orders come in through Amazon. I forget to ship them. It's terrible. So I'm doing it now whilst it's on my mind.
Yeah. I always get confused when Etsy orders come in and stuff. It's a little bit easier now because my phone now makes a sound. Because my old phone, one of the reasons I replaced it is because it stopped making any sort of sounds. It made telephone calls okay, but it wouldn't do any sort of alerts or anything. So I used to miss stuff all the time.
Yeah, I need a little nudge because I don't do big numbers merchant fulfilled. I send most of my Amazon stuff in. Yeah, I have to have a nudge to remember.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Aid says you'll be proud of him. Is that building his Lego, I think?
Has he actually listed some Lego? I don't believe it.
No, I don't think he's listed it. I think he just built it. Don't want to list it. That's taking things to extreme levels.
I don't know what happened there. I selected A4 and it's printed it skinny up the middle of 2 sheets. Perfect. I do hate technology most of the time.
Yeah, so do I. It seems strange. So obviously I was into technology and stuff, but nowadays it just does my head in usually.
Indeed.
You know, I used to build computers and configure things really, really make sure they're all working at their optimum levels and try different things for the computer to make it run better and stuff. Don't do any of that nowadays. I just want something that will sort of plug and play.
Yeah. I don't expect much from technology, just that it does what it says it's going to do. And believe me, yeah. I freak out when it doesn't do what it's supposed to.
I don't know if it's probably always been the case, but I tend to find that things just don't work as well as they should. I mean, I bought a smart TV, and okay, it was a fairly cheapo one. I think it was about £450 from Curry's. It was still, as TVs go, it's quite cheap. It's still quite a lot of money though, but it's so unresponsive, and it crashes all the time. You got to unplug it and plug it back in, and all this sort of stuff. It's JVC, right? But it's not JVC as like you you'd think JVC. It's JVC branded. You know, it's a cheapo thing, just using the JVC brand. And it's just a nightmare. But I should have took it back when it was still in warranty, but it's just out of warranty now. But really, I only use it to watch YouTube, and it's usually okay with that. But it's when you watch normal TV or do anything with the smart features, you know, download apps and all this sort of stuff, it's just useless. It really is useless.
Yeah, we've had our LG for about 10 years. We're so desperately in need of updating because it's so far behind where it should be.
I must admit, I only really use. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got a Chromecast that I cast stuff to, so I can cast, you know, YouTube and Netflix and stuff like that to that. So I don't think I'd bother with a smart TV again, because you can basically do it all on your phone and just cast the stuff across. And I like that.
We have. I don't know. The girls tend to know more about it. We have like a little dongle thing that we use for certain stuff, and we can cast YouTube onto it and Disney Plus onto it, and I don't really know.
Yeah.
I honestly, with TV, I record. What do I record? QI, if there's anything coming out on QI, and Taskmaster. Apart from that, I don't give a monkey's really. Everything else is YouTube for me.
Yeah. I mean, I've got Netflix now. I do watch quite a few things on that, I suppose, now. But
yeah, we have that. I'd sometimes dip into the documentaries, but it's a bit of a. You can get lost on there for days if you start on the documentaries. I
also got BritBox as well, because I got a year's free BritBox with my new phone, and that's okay. But I don't know, there's so much stuff, isn't there? You could sit there all day watching all this stuff. You know?
Yeah, I'd much rather be creating some content than watching it. That's what I try and tell myself, because YouTube's a black hole of time if you start watching too much.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, let's do some more Lego drafts, I think. So are we actually doing a listing challenge? There was talk, wasn't there? But I'm not sure if it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up for it.
Okay, well, that's two of us. That's a challenge, even if there's only two of us.
I think Richard said he would do it.
Well, enough with the Richard.
Although he did say he might not be able to do a lot or something, because he's got to sort stuff or something.
He'll say that, and then he'll come on and we'll share our numbers, and he'll go, "Oh yeah, Monday I only did $2,000." Yeah,
he's probably only saying that to put me in a full sense of security.
I know what it's like. It's all talk.
I think Andrew said he would do it, but he said he might be busy, but he'd still do some or something. Aid said he wanted to do it, or he should do it. I don't know whether he actually said he was actually going to do it.
Aid needs to be part of this, because then he might actually list some Lego.
Yeah, well, he's in the chat, so he can confirm. No, I'm not listed. I'm making bacon and eggs and hash browns. Maybe that's the answer.
Oh my god! I would drive to yours, Aid, just to have some of that. That sounds awesome.
I'm going to put that away because that's going to make me feel hungry.
Okay.
I've run out of things to list, so I took all the parts I could off a scrap cooker and listed those. Yeah. May as well. It's amazing.
I watched a guy in Canada who's a scrapper, and he scraps a lot of stuff. He's got like a massive truck with a big bin, and he fills it up, and he hoovers up all of the cookers and washing machines and that from this whatever town he's in Canada. And I always think, just pull those knobs off and stick them on on eBay, you'd make more than the scrap value of the cooker. It's like,
Yeah.
but no.
Well, I've got like I think it's a vintage Philips trolley thing from the 60s. It's different to the one I'm actually just listed a hostess trolley. But this is a different thing. This is one you heat up food with and stuff, like a food warmer type thing. But I can only put it as collection only. But the tubs, the glass sort of bowls in there and the lids and stuff sell for, it was about 40 quid just for those. So I might just scrap the whole thing and just sell them. But it's just a shame because it isn't really. I don't think it's ever actually been used. But no one seems to want to pick it up. So it might just be the case. It's taken up loads of space. It's like a massive thing in the house. And
it is amazing sometimes that the value of something, if you take it apart and part it out,
yeah,
you can get double or 4 times or 10 times the amount that you'll get for the actual working item. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I do that with telephones, BT cordless phones. But the problem with them is if somebody buys the base and then somebody sends back the handset saying it's faulty, which isn't usually the case. They usually just don't know how to pair it. You get it back, you can't test it again because you've sold the base. So then it goes on the death pile, waiting for you to pick up another base where you can actually test it.
Totally.
So it's a
reseller problems.
all this stuff slows your day down. I was saying earlier, I've got somebody in Italy who's saying I've sold them a fake Microsoft CD. So they're saying they're going to send that back, but it was sealed when I sent it. So I'm going to end up getting basically a second-hand disc back. That's going to be annoying. That was a £80 sale, so it was an expensive piece of software.
Oh, really? You might have to utilise your top-rated seller advantages on that one.
Yeah, well, it's a 0-rated buyer as well. It's GSP, and if it's been opened, which I assume it has been, because he's saying that it's fake. It had all the hologram on it, and I don't think it is fake. It came with a load of computers that I bought, and it, I had loads of software, Windows with it, and all sorts of different software. I've sold all of that, and none of that's come back as any sort of problems. So, it's highly unlikely it is fake. It's just one of those things. He's probably just installed it and, got it for free now, hasn't he? So,
Yep.
So it's one of those things, isn't it? It owes me practically nothing. So
sometimes you have to end up looking at it like that. I mean, in reality, you've lost the 80 quid, but if it costs you pennies, you have to somehow factor that in your brain. It still stings, but you have to mentally move on. I mean, otherwise you get so wrapped up in it. And I was the same for years. These days I'm much better. I'm much calmer at most things these days.
Yeah, I tried to just accept the return request really quick and just forget that it happened, But it's annoying when it pops up on your phone, isn't it? Return requested.
Oh, every time. It's funny because I still stand up for sellers on principle quite often as well, but I don't get stressed about it. I I go through the procedure, but I don't take the stress on. I try not to. I'm not saying it's easy. Yeah, it's usually more about the principle than the money as well.
Yeah, especially you got somebody who always you look at their feedback and you see they always left negatives for everybody, or their comments about returning all stuff all the time. You just know that you know, they're just playing the game sort of thing, you know.
Mm.
That's just annoying. I mean, I've got one at the moment, another one. It's a CD player, radio boombox type thing. It was wrapped, when I sent it, I wrapped it in cling film, and then I put bubble wrap around it in the box. And they're claiming that the aerial is actually completely off the unit, and even the wires aren't connected to it, so they can't tune in the radio. But that's impossible. Even in the shipping sort of thing, it couldn't physically come off of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they've either damaged it as they've opened it by ripping it, bubble wrap off, and rip the aerial off or something, or they're making it up. Which I think they might be, because they look like they're a reseller, because they've got loads and loads of items on sale. So I think they're doing a bit of a fixer up on their broken one and sending me back
A switcheroo.
Yeah, sending me broken.
We sold one of those video to DVD recorders, and we had a return because it was smashed in transit, and he sent it back in the same box I shipped it. The box was pristine, yet the whole front of the machine had been, I think I probably shared it at the time because I was livid.
You're saying
The machine had this massive blunt impact on it to shatter the whole of the front. It's like, well, how's that happen then?
Yeah, that's it.
No. But it was the same. He sent back the same machine, but he had swapped out his smashed fascia.
Right.
Hands down, that's what he'd done. I couldn't prove it, so I had to swallow it.
That's the problem with, like, the serial numbers are only good, but they can always take the back off, put a different circuit board in, or do whatever it is, put the back on. I mean, some people get like little labels, don't they, that you can prove that they've opened the back up. But I think it's a bit pointless, because eBay don't care about that, I don't think. You know, if you said, oh, this is ripped, you know, and they've opened it, you still got to refund them. So the time you take messing about doing all of that, you know, it's not worth it, I don't think. It's the same with people who record themselves packaging something up. And
I was going to say, the amount of people that have told me that, why don't you record yourself putting it in a box? Well, that means nothing. I could have taken it out of the box and then posted it.
Yeah. And people say, oh, you can record yourself giving it to the postman at the shop and all this sort of, you know, it's just never going to, you know, eBay just aren't going to care. You know, they say, sorry, tough, you know.
Tell you, the problem with doing sell similar is you have to go through and check that you change what they put in their item specifics and this, that, and the other.
You've got to be so careful, haven't you? 'Cause
You really do. I nearly made a blunder just then. Oh, got to change that as well. Jeez. I do honestly think eBay are so over the top with item specifics. The stuff they make, it's like nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Oh, yes. I try to fill in as much as I can, but I think it just looks, it clutters up the whole thing as well with stupid, you know, things. You know, they want you to fill it out as much as possible. But a lot of it I leave. Obviously, you got to do the ones they force you to do. I've only managed to list 5 things, and I've been live for almost 3 hours. Not very good.
I think I've done more than that, and I've played about 3 hours of poker. Actually, mine are mostly drafts. I haven't actually listed many.
I never really used drafts, really. I schedule quite a lot.
Yeah, I write the draft on here on the desktop, and then after I've got a batch, I go through and add the photos on my phone.
Right. So I do it in a completely the opposite way. I take all my photos first.
Yeah, the photos will generally be done first, and then they'll be sat on my phone. I just can't be bothered with the faffing around of importing photos anywhere. So I'll make a draft, open the draft here, drop the photos in, and then they appear on the Mac as if by magic.
Right. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, actually.
It takes out a whole step that used to be a pain in the neck. You know,
Yeah.
moving photos around when you really don't need to because the app does it for you.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking about it earlier, actually. I've been using Google Photos, and that sort of uploads it all, and I copy it across the computer that way. But my whole sort of system relies on the photo being on the computer. I basically work from whatever's on the computer. And the photos not there will never get listed. It all sort of stems from that set of photos.
Put a video up earlier talking about some of this Lego that I was sorting out. And someone messaged me on Instagram and said, "You've got a little Lego robot in there that's a Series 1 minifigure." And I'm like, have I? Okay. But yeah, he's worth about 10 quid on his own. I was going to put in a bundle of 12 and sell it for 10 quid the bundle. So I've whipped him out. Can't remember the guy's name. I think it was Paul. Was it Paul? I don't know.
I've still got Lego to build. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to do it next week. I'm going to do at least one set next week. That's what, I'm going to have a low aim. 1 out of 5. But they're quite expensive sets. They're like vintage ones. I think they're worth about 100 quid each. So that's like 500 quid just sitting there. And just because I can't be bothered to build it, it's quite bad, really. So I think I might just watch a film or something and build the Lego at the same time.
Like I was saying to Abe the other night, they don't take as long as you imagine. Once you get into it, they're most of them are fairly simple. You know what I mean? Especially the more vintage you get, generally they get more simple. And
yeah, it looks pretty simple. I mean, I've got like a tractor, and there's a couple of spaceship things.
Yeah, they'll be easy.
Yeah, they probably are just, I can't even remember where I got them from. It's been that long. I assume they came from a boot sale, maybe from the auctions. Richard says he's got nothing to list, so he can't be part of the challenge. I don't think that's true. So, Nick, Bill told me you caught him everything he knows about how to list CDs.
Oh, Bill, bless him. He rattled my cage. He really did.
I don't think you live that down now, though.
There's few things that get to me, but the discs with scratches on is all like, whoa, that's it, straight 0 to 100. I'm like wound up with about that sort of thing.
Exactly, CDs I got at the auction last night. There was some dance music there, and I thought I could do like a bundle of dance music CDs. But yeah, not checking them, I don't think I could do it, because there's so many there. Some of them were loose in the box. I'd have to put back in the cases and things. So some of them will have a few scratches on and things, you know. So
well, there's levels of damage, right? A few light scuffs here and there. You still have to declare it, but that's kind of fine. There's levels of tolerance, isn't there? But just not looking, it's just opening yourself up to a whole shed load of problems that is unnecessary. I just couldn't get through to him. Why are you opening yourself up to that?
I mean, I've had Wii games and Xbox 360 games that literally look like they've been scraped across the floor, you know, completely unusable, you know, and without checking it, they would, you know, you'd sell it to someone.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Mel's in. I'm in the car, so can't chat, but I am listening.
Hello, Mel. How's your tan? Well, how's my tan is more to the point.
I saw the thumbnail. Are you live with the tomorrow or next day or something? I saw there was
yeah, tomorrow. So you saw the thumbnail? Interesting. Did you... Oh dear. Say no more.
I do PC draft, then add photos in phone. Yeah, maybe I should have a look at doing it. I keep on hearing people say about listing on phone and stuff, and it's much better, but I never really I can't really do that. But maybe I'm missing a trick there.
I sometimes just, well, as I'm doing now with this little robot, I've got a draft and then just click, and the photo is immediately on the listing. There's no other part of the process.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Front, back, top, helmet off, done. And in about 4 seconds, they'll all be on my Mac.
Yeah, maybe I should. If I was to do that, I'd have to completely change my whole system. Because the stuff I've...
It's whatever works for you. And if what you've got is working and it's efficient, there's not a lot of point changing it, right?
No, I think the main thing for me is that the items, even though I haven't listed it yet, it's gone. You know, it's in my listed storage away from, you know, my house or my living area or whatever. You know what I mean? That seems to be where the whole reselling stuff is worse for me, is stuff in the house. I hate it when there's stock everywhere. You know, it sort of creeps into the hallway and stuff, and I hate all that. So getting it out of there and into the listed storage area, even though it might not actually be listed, is almost my priority. And then I'll actually list it when I get to it, sort of thing.
So we chatted before, and I can't work like that. If I'm listing something, I have to have it in my hand. And look at the, you know, I know you've always take notes and stuff, don't you, about condition, or it's in the photos or whatever, but I can't do it that way. It's weird. I have to have the product and be looking at it while I'm listing it.
I do try to list it pretty quick. It's usually like over the same day or the next day, so it's quite fresh in my mind. But some things, you know, don't get listed for like 2 or 3 days, and then I might have took some more photos since then of similar things, you know. So if I've took photos of like 5 video recorders, and one of them was dodgy in some way, you know, I would rely on my bit of paper to tell me that particular one had an issue.
Oh, it's so true. I mean, I've had electronics in here before that I probably ended up testing like 4 times, because you test it and then you get on with doing something I enjoy doing, like Lego or media, and then a couple of weeks go past, I think, oh, I'll put that VCI on. Did I test it? I can't remember. I'll test it again, and then I'll put it on the side, do other stuff, not list it, and I'll test it again in a couple of weeks. It's just ridiculous. Which is why I have like a whole week or 2 weeks where I do nothing but electronics sometimes, and then I'm focused on that and it works. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of the opposite. I would hate doing the media and stuff and the Lego. I would go straight to the electronics.
Yeah. That's the beauty of this, isn't it? You know, we're all different, and we should celebrate our differences.
It just goes to show how I think that's why there's still stock every boot sale, even though there's all these resellers. There's always something to get, isn't there? You know, everybody's picking up different stuff all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it still amazes me. I can't be the only one that goes to that boot sale and wants to buy, you know, CD players or something. You know, but I always see them, and they're always cheap.
Well, I thought that when I went down to Bristol, met up with so there was Andrea and I both buying our kind of different niches. Josh, Carla, Lex, Heather, Aid. We all went to a couple of fairly bog standard boot sales, and we all bought loads of good stuff. It was like, yeah, it's awesome. There's so much stuff there.
Yeah, it's amazing the stuff that you know, I would walk past. You would be on it, you know, and buying it, whereas, you know, and I would look at something you'd be loving, you know, load of like CDs.
Well, the funniest thing was we went for a meal afterwards. I think, yeah, we went to the pub and had like lunch after, and Carla was going, "Oh, I picked up these lovely placemats," and I was like, "I had them in my hand. Are they any good?" And she was like, "Yeah, I think so." She sold them for like 30 quid the set or something. Both Andrea and I had them in our hands at one point. Something I picked up, a couple of the others put down again.
Yeah,
yeah, it's bizarre. You know, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people at my boot sellers I speak to, and they look at shoes and trainers and stuff like that, whereas I don't even bother looking. You know, there could be a fantastic pair of trainers for like £2 that sell for 100 quid, and I would just ignore it and walk past and head towards, you know, CD player or something that's in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, but that's why there's always stuff there, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, tea cakes is off. Thanks for popping by.
No.
Aid says he's done really well from those Bristol pickups.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, typos on the phone. Have you ever thought about, instead of typing the stuff, like dictating the description?
I do all of my typing on the desktop.
Right.
I only use the app for pictures. That's all I do on there.
But you could still do it, could you not? On the Mac or something with the microphone.
Probably. I've not.
I don't know. I'm just thinking you could sort of, I don't know, it's that multitasking. You could be doing something else and then the sort of saying excellent condition, you know, and it would have all sort of come on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see it going wrong. You know, you'd have to sort of delete. You'd say something you didn't want to say, and you'd have to sort of delete it.
Andrea pops in and asks me a question, and when I look up and it's in my condition description box, there's all of this chatter about a granddad or something.
I think if you're going to do that, you'd have to be really good at the dictation and knowing. Because I think there's certain things you can say that will then delete things. You know,
Right.
so if you say delete, I think it actually types delete. But I think if you say it in a certain way, it will actually delete it. There's all this stuff I think you've got to know, I think, to use it properly.
You have to swear at it first, and then it does it.
Yeah.
I heard you.
Yeah, ka-ching.
Chinging away.
£70
Oh, lovely. Lovely jubbly.
for a typewriter. Got it at the boot sale for £5 a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
I'll get better than that. Actually thinking about it when I'm here, I best end it on Etsy. You got to be so quick on these, you know, when you cross listing to end things. I've been doing pretty well on Etsy though. I'm quite impressed with it, really.
Oh, yeah. I don't get involved. Andrea cost lists her ceramics and bits, and we get a trickle of orders, but
Yeah.
nothing.
I mean, I saw the video recorder on there the other day. I sold an electric typewriter on there. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, you know, like ornaments or stuff like that. You know, this stuff seems to sell as well.
Yeah, I suppose I think of it as you know, knickknacks and collectibles. But yeah, if it's over, what is it, 20 years old, it's fine.
Yeah, 2000 or older, I think, is allowed. Yeah, I've got a load of glass to put on there as well. I need to watch your video with, is it Walter, the guy with the Antiques Arena?
Yeah, Walter or Edward, depends.
He was talking about how to check for crystal and doing all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
I got a load of glass last night, so I need to watch that back because I've got to figure out what I've got. I think you just ting it, don't you, with your nail or something, and it rings or something.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
I'm listing media now. A mini disc, Tony Bennett Unplugged.
Oh yeah.
Appears to be worth about 20 quid.
I was going to say, recorded mini discs are crazy sometimes. You get, you know, collected bands on mini disc. Name your price. It's mad.
Yeah, so I thought, you know, when I saw it was a mini disc, I thought it might have some sort of value. But yeah, I wasn't really. I was expecting it to be like $8.99 delivered or something. But yeah, somebody's got one on there for $24.95, so I'll probably match that. But it's it looks in really nice condition. It came from the auction in a box of random tat. So, that's why you got to really rummage through all that stuff before you discard it, because I think it was in a box of like household goods. You know, it had like, you know, somebody's old washing up liquid. What do you call it? Shower gel, and there was like a half a bottle of that in there. You know, with this mini disc. You know, you got to really sort of rummage through it all.
Yeah, I guess it's just house clearance people just chucking everything in boxes, isn't it?
Yeah. There's not a mini disc category. You have to put it in other formats. That's annoying. See, they do all this stupid item specifics, and then they, in some places, there's just not a correct place. And I also hate it where there's two categories. I think it's typewriters. There's two categories. There's vintage typewriters. And there's just typewriters. But all typewriters are vintage. So why do you need that? You know, you never really know which one to put it in.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't matter too much. People are searching for it anyway, aren't they? And it doesn't matter too much.
It's like their catalogue of media. If you scan the barcode and try and find the item, that is so broken in so many ways.
If you search the barcode thing, yeah.
I avoid using it quite a lot anyway, because I think it's just going to bring up everybody else's under yours on that little panel.
Yeah.
Based on the barcode, if you select it through the barcode. So quite often I don't use a product.
No, sometimes I miss it out as well. Another thing I don't like is the user reviews of the item at the bottom of the listings, not the feedback. It's it's supposed to be for the item, but they get people saying didn't come with manual, or the disc was scratched, or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I've reported them, but they never get removed.
Amazon is the worst for that. We've had feedback saying things like, wasn't as good as his first album, it was a bit dreary, like, 1 star. And you're like, I didn't like the bloody music, mate. I sent you the CD.
Yeah.
You have to laugh.
Yeah, I think people just don't understand.
Right.
They like how to do it. It's like eBay feedback. I think a lot of people think neutral just means it was okay, so they leave you a neutral. But it looks quite bad on sellers, really, doesn't it? Positive. They probably think positive is like, yes, they were over the moon with it, everything. And if they were just happy to get it, they just leave a neutral. I got that the other day. Somebody said it was excellent seller, fast post, but wasn't quite what I was looking for, or something like that. And he left me a neutral. I thought, thanks a bunch. I tried to use that automatic eBay form you can get for the feedback removal, but I've tried that so many times it never ever gets removed. Most of the time I've phoned through and got things removed.
We've only ever had it removed on the phone, yeah.
I'd said to the woman on the phone, who eventually removed the feedback, it was pretty cut and dry, this feedback that I got removed. And I said, why didn't it get removed, via the online thing? It's so obvious. And she went, she sort of fobbed me off. And I said, well, what's the point of having it? I have something that works, or I can understand certainly if it's complicated or something, they might not remove it straight away. But this thing was just, as soon as I spoke to them on the phone, they removed it straight away. So it's all very weird. my 10 listings yet. I wanted to list 10 before I finish, but I don't know if I'm going to get there. I'm pretty knackered now, and it really is. It's not really like Thursday anyway now, so it's like it sort of counts as the next day. Sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6. Oh, 6. I might just leave it. I'll do one more. I'll force another one, but that's it.
Well, if you're on media now, they're easy. It's fine.
I only have the one. I don't have that much media.
Oh.
I just got that one mini disc.
Yeah, with Mel tomorrow, we're going to be chatting about the best thing that eBay ever did. Can't give away any spoilers what it is.
I have a feeling I won't say it, but I think I know what that is.
It was going to be a video I was going to make on my channel. I might do a similar one, but yeah, it's should be fun.
Yeah. So what time is that our time?
I think it's 9 UK time. I've no idea what that is. Mel's time.
In the evening.
9 in the evening. Yeah, it's me. 9 in the evening. I'll still be in bed at 9 in the morning.
Yeah, I thought if it's 9 in the morning, you best get some sleep. Yeah, I'm not usually listing this late, but I just wanted to get some done. Because I've had the last couple of days have been really bad, although I've actually done okay now because I had a couple of sales come in. Which makes me wonder if it's because I've started listing, as soon as I start listing. But I do try to list every day. But it's been a couple of days since I haven't listed.
Yeah, ours hasn't been too bad, really. It's been fairly consistent. Had some really nice sales this week.
I still feel a bit unprepared again for Q4. I always do that every year. It's because I've got so much of a backlog, I think. I just can't physically list all the stuff that I would like to get on for Q4. It's just never going to get listed. So I always feel quite bad about it, but you just can't do it all. Some of it will just probably still be on the death pile this time next year. But that's just the reality of it, really. I almost would like to be in a situation where I couldn't source. I mean, the first lockdown, it was annoying, but I almost quite liked the fact that I couldn't source because it did allow me to move some, to move some of the stuff I've got.
Totally agree with you. That forced kind of get your head down and work because it's all you can do was really good for me.
Yeah.
It made me realize a few things. It's made me appreciate sourcing a lot more as well, actually. When I wasn't allowed to do it, or there was no boot sales and there was no jumble trails and stuff, I've enjoyed sourcing that much more since. That's the one side of what we do that Andrea and I thoroughly enjoy doing together. We work very separately otherwise. And we both really miss that,
I think my death piles are back to their original sort of size again.
It's easily done.
But it doesn't really bother me because I will list it all eventually. It's all, I'm trying to pick up good stuff all the time. I mean, I do get, you know, rubbish stuff at the auctions. That's just the nature of going there. But the boot sales are, you know, everything I pick up always seems to be pretty good.
Have you still got viewers? I can't see on my screen.
Anyone's
been awake?
27 people still in.
Really? Wow.
It made me laugh. If you said that, I looked up, there was no one in there. We'd be there sort of chatting away, you know, to ourselves. There's an item here. It's a DVI cable for computer, brand new in the box by Belkin. So it's a decent brand. Would have thought it would be worth something, but it doesn't be worth anything. And then you got the fact that, you know, you got to post it, and
Yep.
I think it's just because you can get cheap cables from China and stuff, isn't it? I would have thought it'd be worth something. Maybe I'm searching it wrong.
It's random which cables can be worth silly money. Do you remember that Xbox, the original Xbox? I found an RGB component cable of some description for the original Xbox, and I got 70 quid, was it 60? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's one for the Nintendo Wii as well that goes for loads. If it's genuine Nintendo, I think it's the one with the green. You've got the usual yellow, red, and white, but you've also got a green and I can't remember what the other color is.
Yeah, so the component one then.
Yeah, and one for the Nintendo Wii. That goes for similar money at 70 or 80. I've still got those PlayStation development kits I've got to list. I really should get on that, really.
Well, the beauty of that is they will have increased in value in the time you've had them.
Oh yeah, they're never going to go down, are they? So
you know, there's no rush, to be fair.
Yeah, I should really at least get one of them on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, drip feed them. Don't put more than at once.
I've only got 3, and the deal never took. See, Richard, I think he said he had 100 of them, something like that. And I saw him at the car boot sale, and he said, "Yeah, next week." And I kept on saying, "You know, I'll come and get them later on today. You know, whenever." And he said they were in his locker, but he couldn't get to them, and he definitely phoned me. Never did, and then he stopped replying to my text. Then he stopped going to the car boot sales completely, and now he's gone. I've given up now. I'm not sure if he was just full of rubbish or not. I have a feeling that they were just normal PlayStations he had. I'm not convinced they were the same one. I don't know, but you know, it's a shame because that would have been a great deal.
Yeah.
I think it worked out if I sold them all for the price I'm hoping to get for the ones I've got there. It's like 60 grand or something's worth of PlayStations.
I remember you saying at the time, and I was like, phone him up, ask him, do the deal now.
Yeah. That's the shame. You just can't. If somebody's just not willing to play ball with you, there's not a lot you could do.
And also, I've not been in that situation many times, but sometimes you want to play it really cool because you don't want them to get the impression that they've got something that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because they'll be then like, oh, I might look into these PlayStations. Yeah,
I think he just thought they were normal PlayStations. They were just different color. Because he had the 3 I bought, plus he had a grey one, and they were all the same price. So I said to him something like, I'll give you a tenner for the grey one. He went, no, they're the same price. All the same, mate. Or something like, he obviously didn't know what they were. But I think one of them needs a new laser mechanism fitted. I can't remember what it was. There was something up with the other one. I can't remember. I think it was a NTSC one, the other one. So that was a tricky sort of thing to test. And I had to get a controller that matches. So you think you can get blue controllers and green controllers. And even though they're not the genuine debugging ones, because even the controllers had special controllers, they still look better in the bundle sort of thing. So I was going to get them. I've got one of them, but I really need to sort them out. Might do that next week. Lego and at least one of them. That's my aim for next week.
Right. Okay. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to pan out that well.
Sometimes you take a picture and it just looks really cool. Check that out. Look at that guy. That's Ghost Rider, apparently.
So is that worth quite a bit?
Nah, I might get a $5 for it. But it was a case of moving him over there and doing a separate picture. So yeah, sod it. Let's do that.
It all adds up, doesn't it? Figures and stuff and bits.
I mean, I've said it a million times. I'm happy to do that with stuff that's a case of popping it in an envelope and sealing it up. There's literally no work to ship it. You see what I mean? And so yeah,
it's always nice when you get a sale and it's something really quick. You just got to chuck it in an envelope and it's done. I'm the worst when I get like a sale comes through for like big Sony speakers or something. I've got my dispatch time and I always leave it right to the last minute to actually package it up. I just can't be bothered to do it, even though it might be a really expensive item. Anthony asks, have you sold the white work boots yet?
No, not all of them. I'm working on it. They're kind of in a groove now. They tick along nice, and then every now and again we get a big order. So they're doing all right. I was doing Facebook deals and stuff for a while when I first had them, and I've kind of gone off the boil with that. I think I'll try that again. But I'm in a happy place with it now because I know they're going to sell eventually anyway. So yeah, I worked out. I think if we sell them all at the rate we're going to make about $4 or $5 grand on the deal. So
yeah, that's good.
I'm quite happy.
Yeah.
But if somebody wants to buy all of them, I'm open to offers.
Well, there's value in shifting and creating space as well. You can put new stock, I suppose.
It's funny because we're thinking about moving house. Andrew's like, we're not taking those bloody shoes with us. so if we do seriously think about that, I may have to shift them in bulk.
Have you thought about like the logistics of moving all the stock and tat and like a normal person would have a removal firm to come and sort of move the boxes, but obviously you've got like in certain places and
we've always done it ourselves. I'm a kind of hire a truck kind of guy. So I guess it would be that. I'd rent a big Luton box van for a weekend and do it all myself.
Yeah, that's what I did last time I moved house. Had Richard came up and helped me move.
Yeah.
We had a big van and just it did take a while.
You call in family and favours from people and say, "Do you fancy giving me a weekend?" What are you doing? Oh, I just moving some stuff. And then they come and they go, "Oh, it's Nick. Oh, I forgot how much stuff you've got."
Yeah. All sorts from Pete. Good evening, Derek and Nick. I'm just tuning in for the influence to get busy this evening on my eBay listings. Now that my regular job is over for the day. Thanks for popping by.
Hi, Pete. Right, I think, is that all of my drafts done?
I think I might call it a night. Now, I haven't done my 10. I think I only listed 5 things. It's like the slowest.
Was that 1 an hour?
Probably is, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6 things. And I revised something else. I don't really count that because that took like 2 minutes. But yeah, it's better than nothing. Oh,
that's some Lego I just listed. There you go.
you just listed it.
Yeah, those Exoforce things, these weird looking things. But I did them quite cheap because they're not complete. It's missing, or it should have 2 of these, and there's another one with it. But yeah, tenner plus shipping gets them out the door.
Yeah, things with issues and stuff. I like to get rid of them pretty quick because I've got a lot of. Sometimes I go through phases where I have a load of faulty electronics, usually because I've bought them from like the same place, and they've still been knackered, or CDs don't read, or the tape belts are no good, and it's not worth the effort fixing them. And I just don't like filling the store up with a load of faulty stuff, but they still have value, don't they? Even though they're faulty, as long as they're priced accordingly and stuff.
Yeah, you just run the gauntlet of did they actually read the title and description?
Well, what I do now, I always put faulty in capital letters as the first word in the title.
I'll tell you what I do, and I'm sure you've done it, is if you sell something like that, I message them and I say, before I ship this out, I want to confirm that you understand that I'm sending something that I know is faulty. I want you to know it's faulty.
I do that sometimes, but it depends on the item, really. It's if it's going to be an expensive thing for me to post and a hassle to pack, then I don't really want to be wasting all my time and money. Whereas if it's something cheap for me to post and then they send it back, it's basically a change of mind return, isn't it? If they send it back, and because you're top rated seller, you can discount the postage coming back if it's because they haven't read that it's faulty. So I tend not to bother with that. But yeah, if it's an expensive thing or a big thing, and especially if it's GSP as well, I would check, because they might not understand English and then just looked at the photos or something,
Yeah, international sales worry me constantly. I do fear that things get lost in translation, because they do all the time.
Yeah. I also find it annoying that GSP is great until something goes wrong with the sale, because if they open a return, then eBay say that you've got to buy a label, which is fine, but you can't actually buy one. So every time I've tried to buy a label in a different country, it says either says I can't, or I don't have a clue what I'm doing because it's all in Italian or whatever the language is.
Yep.
Or it detects your IP address and say, sorry, you can't purchase. So yeah, and there doesn't seem to be a proper way to fix that apart from all message the buyer and see if they can sort it. There's no like proper system. It'd be better if there was a system where eBay buy the label for you or something like that. Like they do in England. You can pay for a label sometimes, and they provide it, don't they?
Yeah, although I think they're starting to put all of that on us now.
Yeah, I've noticed it doesn't always appear now. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it was Steve was saying earlier today that it seems like eBay's dropping the whole. They'll sort out the label for us. That's another hoop we have to jump through now. I think. Don't know if they phased it out completely or not, but
it used to be quite a good price as well. It's like £3.20 or something for up to 10 kilograms or something. So
yeah, I think they were getting fleeced on it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But that was always good because you had you get it back and you call eBay, I don't think they charged you for the label, so you end up not having to actually spend it in the end, I think. But they keep on changing all their ways of doing stuff, and you never really know what the current state of affairs is, do you? Derek, will you do a daytime one tomorrow? I'll be there. I don't know about that. I'll probably still be asleep. Probably not, because I think I list more when I'm not live. I think I've already listed those 6 things.
Yeah, going live does not help productivity.
No. Although, to be fair, if I didn't go live, I probably wouldn't have listed anything. I probably just would have gone to bed or something. So that's the main reason. I thought going live might be quite good. So it was quite productive, I suppose, on that viewpoint. But yeah, usually I can, what is it, 3.5 hours? I would list loads, So you got your music on, and you can just, it's just a lot.
Yeah, it needs that certain amount of focus, and when you're live, clearly 50% of your focus is gone because you feel obliged to look at the chat, obviously, because people are taking the time to pop in. And when I've tried working Hangouts, I don't get a lot done. It's very loosely working.
Yeah. So there won't be one tomorrow, but
Ian's messaging me now.
maybe he wants you to go live. Yeah, I might go on drinking with Andrew possibly tomorrow. Not sure.
Oh yeah, it's Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I think I'll be clashing then. If I'm on with Mel at 9.
Oh yeah, he does it at 8:30.
Yeah, we'll be clashing because I said to Mel that I didn't want to clash with Zahir, and I'm not sure exactly when they're on. So we ended up at 9. So I'll clash with Andrew again. I think I did last week as well.
The thing is, people watch for different reasons, won't there? There'd be Andrew's more of a, he's drinking with Andrew things, more of a just talk about anything sort of thing. Whereas if you're talking reselling, then you'll get the different people in different chats, I suppose.
I think so. Yeah, drinking with Andrew, I like to dip in and see which who's drunk and who's popped in, and what crazy topics of conversation come up. I don't tend to watch the whole thing. Depends who's on.
Yeah, I miss. I watch it at the start for a bit, and then I sort of drop out, and then I come back on in a bit later on, just before I sort of tend to go to sleep. I sort of see who's on, and then I'll get sort of stuck in the chat a bit, or whoever's talking keeps me entertained for a bit, and then I eventually fall asleep. It's been a while since I've actually been on there. It's Friday the 13th. Well, it's today now, so we'll probably get lots of return requests. Like that.
Oh, is it Friday? Yeah, of course it is. Wow. Ooh. And we've just had Halloween, and now it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Right, I might call it a night. So thank you for coming on.
No, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's okay, and I'm sure we'll chat in the near future.
Yeah, I think if we are doing this listing challenge, we'll perhaps hang out on Monday evening and
yeah, because do basically what we did last time to
we'll set it up on Monday, and Andrew can moan about all the rules or whatever, and we'll see what happens. So yeah,
you can tell us how many listings he managed on Monday. 1,000 or something.
Excellent. All right, mate. Nice one.
Right, I'll catch you later. And cheers everybody in the chat for popping by. And you can all go to bed now.
Yeah. Night, Derek.
Yeah, see you later. Bye, everybody.